Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Much peace and blessings to our essential Akimader that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. This is your brother Ash from the Great Millstone Miami Camp, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying unto the elect. Okay, this is going to be a few words building off of this brother's testimony, okay, GMS Yaradan Ba Ban Banyamyan, okay, which was re-uploaded on the GMS Strictly Testimonials channel, okay, which is a great channel, by the way. And you brothers out there that may be watching this video that aren't subscribed to this channel, go ahead, subscribe to this channel. You know, the Lord put a spirit on this brother. I believe this is if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is a brother from the head brother from Valdosta that made this channel, if I'm not mistaken. I forget the brother's name, Salakia, but you know, the Lord put a spirit on him to make this channel, and he be on it with the testimonies, different visions brothers have, and he be compile them all together. And you go on his page, you know, you're guaranteed to get a spiritual boost from one of these videos from the several testimonies throughout the body. Okay, but this testimony in particular is of a TikTok scoffer, right? This so-called TikTok celebrity by the name of Malik Taylor, okay, which the brother Yaradan Ba knew personally, okay, before his conversion to the truth. And he was his so-called line brother, which you have, you know, several brothers that are in this ministry today that are part of this truth that have come out of the so-called Greek life, the Greek way of life. And I'm talking about so-called college fraternities. Okay, you're gonna have brothers that's more street backgrounded, if you will, a little more rough around the edges, you know, maybe high school dropouts, you know. Shit, you know, I had to go get my GED recently. But you gotta have other brothers that went to college and, you know, got the degree and all that. You know, been a part of this man's Esau system. Okay, been a part of these different fraternities, and that is for a testimony against you wicked ass Negroes that want to stay a part of this system. Okay, because we're exposing it through the spirit of power of Yahweh Bashmi Al Shai, and we are the ones that you need to listen to. Okay, you can't talk on something for real if you ain't never really experienced it. So I can't really tell you about the deepness of, you know, for real first-hand account on how these fraternities and sororities operate within the so-called Divine Nine. But I have done study on it. You know, I have gone into it, looked into it, like I do with all the so-called conspiracy-related things. And through the Spirit of the Lord, we're able to draw conclusions and show you through the Spirit of the Lord that this is a very ancient thing, a very ancient, energetic, dynamic relationship between the wicked of our people, the 2/3, and Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. It's an ancient relationship. This energy of the so-called Divine Nine, black fraternity, that goes back to the ancient world, okay, which is really the baby Boule. We're going to go into Boule, what that is, and show you that these different so-called fraternities, sororities, which a fraternity is a brotherhood, sorority is a sisterhood. These goes back to the Greek Empire, okay? When the Greeks had dominion over the nation of Israel, the whole world, including the nation of Israel, back during the times of starting with Alexander and going into Antiochus, okay, and the other Greek rulers. So yeah, this dude Malik Taylor, which when the brother Yaradan Ba converted to the truth, he denounced the whatever fraternity he was a part of, And you had this dude, Malik Taylor, got his panties in a bunch. And, the brother said he did plenty of videos talking shit about him. TikTok videos talking shit about him. Talking shit about the truth. Talking shit about Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Talking shit about the whole Hebrew Israelite thing. And this dude is a cold sodomite. So what I did was I looked him up. I went on TikTok and I looked him up. I said, shit, I want to see, the videos he talking shit, so I could laugh at him now that he's dead. Okay? But I searched Malik Taylor, Hebrew Israelite, and first video I recognized was his face right here. This woman, so-called black woman right here. I recognized her from a video that I watched some months back, and she was exposing Kappa sorority, not Kappa, Delta. She was a Delta, which is the red sorority where they throw up the so-called Rockefeller side. Like Kanye said, she's a Delta, so she been throwing that dynasty sign. Right? Showing you that shit is all connected. Right? Each of these fraternity sororities, they all have their own hand symbol. They got their own colors. It's straight up witchcraft, but she goes into it. There's a video on YouTube. Right? She was doing testimony interview with another Christian, so-called Christian podcaster, and she's going into how that whole sorority shit is just straight up demonic, straight up witchcraft, straight up and down. Okay, and she said when you join, first of all, before you join, to get initiated, before you actually get initiated, you go through a process called set, and it's basically mind programming. They break you down, they deprive you of sleep, they deprive you of food, they put you in chaotic situations, they harass you, basically bug you out, and then after that, they have you do rituals all night and repeat different oaths. Right? And then in the morning, you don't remember what you did because you didn't sleep. You was in a chaotic state. So she went on to say, like, years later, after you graduate and shit, majority of the people involved in those fraternities and sororities don't even remember the type of things that they did, because that's how they play with your mind. And plus, they dealing with spirits anyway. But she said basically the Most High brought it back to her memory, and then she went back in her Delta book, and she showed in the Delta book, it says that these rituals go back to Freemasonry. It says it in the Delta book. Right? And then they show different rituals. She showed in the Delta book, they got rituals, they call it water witching and this witch and that, it's just straight up spellcraft, right? And now in this video, I'm gonna play this video with what she's saying, and obviously she's a Christian, but she's sincere. You can tell she's sincere in what she's talking about. So, she's still an Israelite at the end of the day. Whether she wakes up to the full truth or not, that's up to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But the Lord is using her to expose what's going on in these wicked ass fraternities, which we already know through the Spirit, because we know what it originates from. So I'm gonna play this clip. Okay, then we're gonna get some information about the Boule, right, and show you these other D9, smaller D9 organizations are just baby Boule. That's just your entry level into the Freemasonic system. Okay, and once you go into there, you basically have a platform to jumpstart your demonic life. Whether you want to continue going further up the ranks, go into actual Freemasonry, or actually become a member of the Boule, which is an actual fraternity, right? We're gonna get the name of it and all that, But let's play this clip.
I saw weird sicknesses out of nowhere. There are people who are going to repent because of this, but they're going to repent because they lost.
This part of this will pass along tonight from Winston Sellouts State University, WSSU, says it is mourning the loss of 3 of its students. WSSU posted online, and Careless Redeemed Chats and Shelly Williams and 3 class have all died.
I saw people getting shot up and getting killed right there. Saw it as a drive-by shooting. I saw weird sicknesses out of nowhere. Young people, they got diagnosed with cancer. Young people getting diagnosed with sicknesses in the hospital. I'm not joking, man. Something. They're gonna repent because they went through a consequence.
I'm waiting for the white one to put all these false guys up to the side. That's not a spade. I'm denouncing because I don't like y'all.
We're on this app because we love you. We're on this app because we love the Lord. We're bearing our soul. We're talking about these things. We're putting our necks out here on the line to be persecuted, to possibly go to jail because we love you guys. There are people who are going.
See that? You can see she's sincere. You know, she may not know the truth, but she know that shit is off. She been a part of that shit. She know that shit ain't right. And she, as an Israelite, is spiritual. She connecting the dots. She see the Most High is clearly dropping all you goddamn fraternity niggas, you sorority bitches, putting your asses to death in all type of dramatic and mysterious ways. Getting shot up at the fucking Kappa picnic, right? Coming down with all type of illnesses, right? Why? Because your souls have been corrupted, right? You niggas already was wicked. You was born in vain any goddamn way. But once you join these fraternities and say all these oaths, which the scripture tell you you're not supposed to make an oath, right? You get into these sororities, you make all these oaths that you can't even remember the shit you said. You bind your soul with all type of demonic pacts. And you wonder why your life is hell. You wonder why these women in these different sororities can't get pregnant. They can't find a man to stay with. Right? A lot of these men are momos, right? Because you're cursed. You curse yourself when you form these allegiances and alliances with the devil, and it's all for carnal gain, man. Ain't nobody doing this shit to get closer to the Most High. They doing this shit for their worldly image, to make connections, to make money, right? To forward their careers. That's all. So whatever comes with that, they willing to do it. Showing you don't deserve to be on the earth. You just need to get taken out, man. You don't respect the Most High. You don't respect His creation. You don't respect His order. You don't look for it to Him to bless you. You rather run to the devil, right? So good on you that you getting put to death. Like my nigga J-Rock say, I'm glad y'all gonna die. Okay. But anyways, let's go into some research on what actually the Boule is. Okay, Sigma Pi Phi. That's the correct term for the Boule. Okay, Sigma Pi Phi, also known as the Boule, is the oldest Greek lettered organization for black men in the United States. You see that? So this is the grandfather of all of those, so-called Divine Nine sororities and fraternities. This is the foundation of it. Okay, this is basically the one West. This is basically the one West of the Greek world, of the Black Greek world. Okay, if you will. And I say that funny. I'm just being joking, you know. But founded in Philadelphia, right? The city of brotherly love, right? Showing you these people are fucking Masons, man. They don't do none of this stuff for no reason. Everything they do is for a reason. Okay? By a group of prominent black professionals. This professional fraternity, which has no collegiate chapters, right? It's not about, you can't join this in college. You join this after you leave college. After you already got deified in college and went through the Greek life and already been through the regular sororities and shit. This is the next level shit. After you graduate and actually become a successful a prominent man, then you can enter into this. You know, this the next level shit, right? Showing you this it's a pyramid structure within Esau's system. Okay, and you niggas don't get far. You don't get that far in Esau's system. You get in the Boule, and that's as far as you go, cause that's your place, boy. Which is gonna say it. You go into the meaning of Boule, you're gonna understand you're gonna see clearly what this shit is about. Okay, which has no collegiate chapters, was created for men of achievement to provide a space for mutual benefit, social advancement, and community engagement, serving as a significant force in the leadership and professional development of African Americans. Okay. Oh. Name. The organization is called Boule, the Greek word for a council of chosen men in ancient Egypt. Okay. But you see that sign right there, which they call the griffin. Okay. You see the lion with the wings, right? And he has his hand over that vase, right? Which they say the symbol is a sphinx. They call it a sphinx or a griffin. It's LeBron James got this tattoo big and bold right over his chest. But basically it goes into the defenders of the king, or the defenders of the elite. Basically, these are like the front line of guard for the elites, man. Their job is to keep niggas away from getting too close to the up top. So they're a bunch of gatekeepers, right? Let's see. Famous members: W.E.B. Du Bois, Martin Luther King, Vernon Jordan, right? Who's some Carter G. Woodson, Thurgood Marshall, a bunch of Arthur Ashe, all the same niggas that they just push in our face, man. In Black History Month, they shove down your throat every goddamn year. A bunch of sellouts, man. Who ain't never did nothing for real for the nation of Israel or Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. There's a bunch of fucking coon sellouts that took it up the backside for a check, and you know, to be put on TV, right? Martin Luther King received the award from fucking the Rothschilds, man. Let me see something. Sigma Pi Phi Guard. Let me see. There's a way that they say it. Sigma Pi Phi Guardians of the King, something like that. That's what it really means. Let's see something. Damn, I had the. Let's see what Wikipedia say. In cities of ancient Greece, the Boule was a council appointed to run daily affairs of the city, originally a council of nobles advising a king. So that's basically what it means. Okay, a council of nobles advising a king, and these nobles were set up by the Greeks, and we're going to go into the scriptures to show you there were many Israelites that were the prominent members of this council. Okay, sellouts. They were set up to be taskmasters and overseers of their own people. The same way today you got these Diddyites, right? These Tyler Perrys, these T.D. Jakes. These people are set up by Esau to police their communities. That's what Freemasonry is about. You got the white Freemasons that police their communities, the black Freemasons that police their communities, right? You even got Asian Freemasons, fucking Haitian and African Freemasons is worldwide, okay? But they police their own, but they answer ultimately they answer to the small hats, all of them. Right, you go into Freemasonry, what it's really all about is Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism, and Gnosticism, re-rocking and remixing the scriptures into some demonic wordplay that will fuck up your brain. Okay? It say Boule evolved according to the constitution of the city, and oligarchies. Boule positions might have been hereditary. Exactly, like I mentioned with this dude Rampage Jackson, another sellout, right? Always got the monster chain, which is 666, right? Or a monster hat, showing you who he's pledging allegiance to, right? You had the whole publicity stunt years back with him breaking the door and shit. Now his son got his own publicity stunt to initiate his career. How? It's hereditary. Same way you got LeBron James' son. Now in the NBA can't play for worth a damn, but he's on the same team with his dad, right? Because it's hereditary. You sell your soul, you sell your body too, and your sperm, your eggs as a woman, that goes along with that contract that you made, right? While in democracies, members were typically chosen by lot and served for 1 year, little is known about the workings of many boule, except in the case of Athens, and for which extensive material has survived. You know what? Let's do something. Let's do a Google. Let's ask Google, were ancient Israelites a part of the ancient Greek Boule? Let's see what Google says. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Google. Okay, look at what it says. While there was some Greek influence on Judean culture during the Hellenistic period, after the conquest of Alexander the Great, right, you're right on that, which it wasn't just some Greek influence, there's a whole lot, okay? This occurred centuries after the height of the Israelite kingdom. So what? The Israelite seeds are still in the earth. What the fuck that got to do anything? Even during this later period, when many Jews were living under Greek rule, they remained a distinct population and were not absorbed into the political bodies of Greece. They were not? That's not in the Bible? What are you talking about, man? In fact, Greek rule led to a Maccabean revolt. Yeah, you're right, but how many, all the Israelites wasn't with the Maccabean revolt. You go into the scriptures, it clearly tell you that the Maccabeans were not just killing Greeks, they were killing other Israelites that were sellouts. So what the fuck you talking about, Google? But in your lies, you tell the truth. In your lies, you tell the truth. So anyway, let's just go into the scriptures, man, and be done with this. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, right? Alexander the Great, so-called, right? 8. And his servants bear rule, everyone in his place, right? We already know the 4 generals, Lysimachus, Cassander, Seleucus, and Ptolemy, right? That spread throughout the 4 corners of the earth. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them. Many years and evils were multiplied in the earth, right? Even this chick, Jaguar Wright. I was watching a video the other night, a little clip. She was talking about how, I think she mentioned Boule. But she was talking about how you know, a lot of these so-called black celebrities are related. She mentioned how Snoop Dogg is related to Brandy and Ray J, right? And there's many more. Like you'll be surprised. Like Glorilla and Cardi B are supposedly cousins. They both came out and said it. There's many more connections. You could go on and on, which is just nepotism. At first glance, you say, oh, well, that's just nepotism. You know, that's what people do. Of course, if you have a family member, you're going to put your family member on, but it's deeper than that. It's a bloodline thing, because the elites know, as we read, the Boule positions were passed down through they were inherited, those different council positions on the Boule. So that's the same thing we have today, right? Esau understands that if you come from a bloodline of sellouts and booty bandits and Boule butt buddies, right? Then 9 times out of 10, you'll be a great one too. That's why you got a lot of these niggas today. They are the offspring of these wicked ass niggas that we're gonna read of, right? The descendants of the Maccabees are here today, right? The people that the Maccabees was putting to death are here today. The Greeks, the descendants of them are here today. Everybody's back in their lot through the reincarnation. You come back through your descendants every 3rd and 4th generation. Okay? But it says, and after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them. Many years and evils were multiplied in the earth. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. This is history. This is real history you can look up, man. In the Bible, which means what? The Bible is a actual historically accurate document. Okay? In those days, this is the key point. In those days, right? This is during Antiochus, right? Because Google will tell you, oh, no one, no Israelites are part of the Boule. Well, in those days went there out of Israel, wicked men. This ain't talking about the Maccabees, all right? Wicked men who persuaded many. This is your Martin Luther King, your W.E.D. Du Bois, Thurgood Marshall, right? George Washington Carver ass niggas coming back, right? Who persuaded many. How do they persuade many? Same thing they do today. They create these different organizations and they recruit people. Right? They wave the carrot in your face, which is the money and fame, but you got to get bent over. You got to keep a secret, man. As a matter of fact, let's just show you something real quick. It's not a coincidence that which I ain't even have to look it up. You can look it up yourself, but it's not a coincidence that a city with one of the highest concentration of black millionaires is Atlanta, and at the same time they have the highest or if not the highest population of black homos. It's not a coincidence. And Atlanta, that's where you got a lot of, in that area you got a lot of those so-called HBCUs or whatnot. All right, that's where Martin Luther King Jr. set up his headquarters. It's not a coincidence. When you understand how this world works and what's really going on, you see all this shit clearly, man. It says, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen. What's a covenant? A deal, a contract. With the heathen. Who were the heathen? The Greeks were Edomites, so-called white people. Right? The so-called white, they can't be the Greeks and the Israelites. They can only be one side. Esau want to make you think he was everybody. He was the Greeks, he was the Israelites, he was the Egyptians, he was the Scots, he was the Danes, he was the last fucking king of Scotland, he was the last samurai. Come on, man. How you everybody, bro? pick a side. But you do that to try to muddy the waters on who you really are. But we know who you really are. You're the devil. Okay? That are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. Right? So these wicked niggas saying, man, we need to go to them east. We need to make a deal, man. Because, yeah, man, we hurting. Our pockets hurting. Right? That's what these niggas do. They go sell out. Man, I need to go hit up the record label or whoever I need to do, whatever I need to do. You know what I'm saying? I need to join this fraternity. Or that's what I gotta do to get my pocket. Hey, so be it. I gotta bend over or whatever. I just watched this video with this dude, Lil Tony, exposing he was doing some modeling shit. And they said if you want to become a millionaire, no, you just gotta let Leonardo DiCaprio peg you, or you gotta give him top, and then he's the leader of this certain sect, and if you do that, you'll get rich. This is what goes on, man, behind closed doors. Right? Get blackmail on you. That's what selling your soul is. Now you are a slave. You may have gained the world, gain money and power, but you can't do what you want with it. You can do what they say you can do with it. You're not given money and fame, you're lended money and fame with terms and conditions. When the Most High could freely give you money and fame on his time, right, in righteousness. But nigga don't want that though. Okay, 12. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Right, what's that? These niggas like Diddy. How you think Diddy get away with all the shit he was doing for years? All the wickedness he was doing for years, because he had consent from the government to do that. He's a sellout, he's a fed. And there's many more. Jay-Z's another. These niggas do high level wickedness, man, behind closed doors. And Esau know everything that everybody do. He got technology everywhere, surveillance everywhere. He knows what everybody's doing. So how the fuck these wicked ass niggas do the shit they do and get away with it? Sacrificing people, blackmailing people, extorting people. Esau be knowing about all that shit. This nigga Whack 100 talking about he got a tape with Nipsey Hussle, a gay tape with Nipsey Hussle. Well, how you get that, bruh? Right? Come on, man. These niggas be feds. These niggas be warlocks. And all, man, just super demons. And I can't wait. Most of us already jacking you niggas up. We already see it's happening. And it's gonna continue. And again, I'm glad y'all gonna die. Okay, 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the custom of the heathen. Right, which means they was working out butt naked. That's what the word gymnos means, butt naked. Freak offs. This is the origin of the freak off. Okay, and made themselves uncircumcised, and you could look that up. They would actually they would stitch the foreskins back onto their rods, or they would pull the last little bit of skin and pull it up over their rod and tie a string on it and make it look like they were still circumcised. And the only way people would know that is if you're walking around butt naked. And that's what they was doing. Just wickedness, man. And these are the same sodomites coming back. This is your young thugs coming back. But you got pictures of Young Thug in the Freemason Lodge with his Freemason papers. He said in the song, I'm a Freemason, I beat all of my cases. Okay. Okay, it says, and made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant. And that's what you do when you join these fraternities. You go from you could be a black Christian or whatever, right? Because that's what Jacob's identity today is, in Christianity. But you join these, which really are Israelite, which you black Christian, you just a super watered down version of an Israelite, but then you go into these Greek organizations and be converted into a full-on Greek. And each of these D9 organizations have their own god that they worship. Like dealing with the Kappas, They worship Mithra, I believe. No, not Mithra, but damn, what's her name? This Greek goddess name starts with an M. I forget the actual name. But yeah, they all have a certain idol that they worship, and they take on the vibration of that idol. Okay? So it's straight up idolatry, it's straight up witchcraft. And the purpose of it is to get you on the wrong side, on the bad side of the Most High. The people that created, that put these niggas in position to create these different fraternities and sororities understand that you are the Israelites. They know that. Okay? And their purpose is to get you converted from worshiping the Most High or anything close to that to just straight up worshiping Greek idols. That's what Freemasonry is about. Getting you to worship idols so the Most High could mess you up, so that you can be cursed, so that they can have dominion over your soul. Same thing you read about in the book of Numbers with Baal Peor. Same thing you read about in the book of Daniel. We cannot do nothing to him lest he transgress by his God, right? It's just witchcraft. They know you're the Israelites. Okay? But that's pretty much the point. All right? You see that? It goes on to say, you read down, verse 41, it says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his people, to his whole kingdom, that all should be one people. And that's why they call it Greek life. They call it Greek life when you join a fraternity. Right? And everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed, according to the commandment of the king. All the heathen agreed. That goes for, all the other nations, but Israel included. Many wicked of our people. Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion. So what the fuck you talking about, Google? And sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. They did this willingly. That's part of the rituals when you join these Freemasonic organizations, these baby Boule organizations. A part of the oaths that you make is denouncing the Bible, denouncing God. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit they make you do. Blaspheme. They make you blaspheme. Right? And the higher ranks you go, the more demonic shit they make you do. That's how they can trust you. That's how they know that you're not going to snitch or tell the secrets. That's how they know you're fully down. 46. And pollute the sanctuary and holy people. Set up altars and groves and chapels. It was that today. Your different chapters of these fraternities and organizations. It's the same shit. Black Greek organizations. What's that? Israelite that's trying to be a Greek. This is what you can read about in the scriptures right here. So to me, this is some of the most basic and plain pieces of evidence that show you that so-called Negroes, you are indeed the Israelites. For sure. You're doing the same, as the scriptures say, there's no new thing under the sun. It's just history repeating itself. And the same way the Most High was jacking you niggas up back then, He's going to do it today. Same way the Most High rose up the Maccabees in ancient time, He's going to raise them back up today, which is your 144,000. He's going to give them power, and they're going to come put a lot of you niggas in the ground. No, not in the ground. You're just going to lay you on the ground. Because the scripture say you're not going to be buried nor lamented. A lot of you niggas going to get burnt to a crisp, though, and to ashes. So at least you get a cremation. Okay? set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised. Right, that's a part of the deal. You got to pass your children through the fire, right? And make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. That's what happens in these organizations. They have orgies. To be a part of the organization, you got to go through the orgy. to succeed, you got to succeed. Okay? To the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. See, that's the point. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. So you had a lot of our people, they just sold out. They just went with it, man, because they'd rather go with it than to die. A lot of our, you read above the chapter, a lot of niggas just went straight without even the promise or threat of death. They just want to be down. Then you got the second wave of niggas that convert, you know, because of a little pressure and force, right? But the elect are going to be the 7,000 that have not bowed their knee to the image of Baal. That's going to be your remnant, which the nation is going to be saved through the remnant. The rest are going to be put to death. They're going to take that charagma. They're going to take that thing, that thingy thing, right? And soon after be destroyed. But the elect are going to stand firm. They're not going to join hand in hand with this devil and ultimately be delivered. So that's pretty much it, all I really wanted to say. Lord willing, was edifying with them to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Hakadash. Until the next one, Shalom.